Welcome to Scientific Death.
If you're baking a cake at home and want to double the servings, the math is incredibly straightforward. You just double the flour, double the sugar, and use a bigger pan. But applying that kitchen logic to a chemical plant is a trap. In large-scale industrial chemistry, directly doubling a recipe without adjusting the environment creates a completely different, highly dangerous physical system. In April 1998, operators working the night shift at a specialty chemical processing plant in Paterson, New Jersey, were tasked with keeping production moving. They were attempting to boost output of a specialty dye ingredient called Automotive Yellow 96. To get ahead, the operators loaded twice the normal amount of the main reactive component, a chemical called Orthonitrochlorobenzene, or ONCB, along with raw sulfur into a massive 2,000-gallon stainless steel batch reactor. The operators successfully doubled the chemical mass inside the vessel. However, they kept the standard reaction time exactly the same, and they made no modifications to the reactor's exterior cooling capacity to handle the extra load. This seemingly small procedural oversight put the chemicals on an unavoidable trajectory. The laws of thermodynamics mathematically guaranteed a catastrophic runaway reaction. Every chemical reactor operates on a delicate balancing act. As the chemicals react, they generate internal heat. Simultaneously, a cooling jacket wrapped around the outside of the vessel removes that heat to keep the temperature stable. The problem lies in how these opposing factors scale. Heat generation is tied to physical volume, increasing at a rapid, cubic rate. Heat dissipation is strictly limited by the tank's exterior surface area, which grows at a much slower, squared rate. By cramming double the batch charge into that exact same 2,000-gallon tank, the operators severely reduced the vessel's ability to cool itself per unit of chemical mass. The geometry of the vessel could no longer keep up with the chemistry inside. The tank shifted from a controlled manufacturing environment into a thermal bomb with a lit fuse. Normally, a heat transfer fluid called therminal runs through the jacket at 225 degrees Celsius, which keeps the internal chemical reaction humming along safely at about 170 degrees. Because the cooling jacket was overwhelmed by the doubled volume, the internal temperature continued to rise. The mass began generating heat far faster than the jacket could pull it away, pushing the temperature past a critical 215-degree threshold. At 215 degrees, the ONCB molecules begin to violently break apart. The nitro groups attached to the chemical structure undergo self-accelerating thermal decomposition. As those chemical bonds snap, they dump massive amounts of stored energy back into the tank, driving the temperature even higher. This molecular destruction rapidly generated vast volumes of non-condensable nitrogen oxides, chlorine compounds, and vaporized organic solvents. Within seconds, the internal pressure exceeded the maximum yield limit of the heavy steel vessel. The immense pressure violently ripped the top head completely off the reactor, launching heavy steel components into the air and releasing a superheated shockwave of highly flammable fumes across the facility. The sudden structural tearing of the pressure vessel created a high-velocity kinetic shockwave. The intense pressure differential struck nearby workers, causing alveolar topulary rupture, commonly known as blast lung, along with severe blunt force trauma. When the expanding cloud of organic vapor hit the open air, it ignited into a 1,200 degrees Celsius fireball, inflicting deep thermal flash burns. Worse, the unburned chemical vapors inhaled during the blast reacted directly with lung moisture to form highly toxic hydrochloric and nitric acids inside the respiratory tract. The microscopic acceleration of decomposing molecules, combined with the geometric reality of the overwhelmed cooling jacket, easily bypassed the reactor's physical engineering safeguards, instantly devastating both steel and human tissue. The incident at Paterson proved exactly how sensitive industrial chemical reactors are. They operate constantly on a thermodynamic knife edge, where even small physical variations in a chemical mass can trigger an unstoppable failure. In the aftermath, the U.S. Chemical Safety Board mandated that facilities conduct formal reactive chemical hazard evaluations. Plants were legally required to test the exact thermal limits of a specific batch, using precise calorimetry before making any alterations to its size. Hardware requirements changed as well. Any reactor handling highly energetic nitro compounds must now be equipped with automatic emergency quench systems. If temperatures exceed safety thresholds, high-pressure pumps inject specialized inhibitors to freeze the reaction within seconds. Strict administrative protocols were also enacted. Under rigorous management of change reviews, operators and plant managers are now legally prohibited from altering batch recipe sizes without conducting thorough, engineered heat balance calculations first. Large-scale chemical processing fails when human ambition ignores the strict mathematical realities of physics. Today, modern industrial chemistry demands that every decision rests on rigorous calculation, leaving no room for the fatal errors of everyday intuition.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a giant thumbs up and hit that big subscribe button. Be sure to turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. See you in the next one.